ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهديه الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليك يا رسول الله. أوله رحمة وأوسطه مغفرة وآخره عتق من النار. Beginning of the month, mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أوسطه مغفرة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks, who want to be forgiven? وآخره, the last 10 days of Ramadan, we only have 8 left. عتق من النار, free from the hellfire. This beautiful Quran. When I was reciting, you notice we have so many stories. Story of Noah, story of Ibrahim, story of Lut, story of Musa, story of many stories. And every time I pass by a verse, I said, I'm going to tell this story. No, I'm going to tell that story. So many lessons in the Quran. We have to live the Quran. We have to take these verses and make it alive in our life, in our heart. I wanted to talk about so much of what I read, but there's something also urgent and important. بني الإسلام على خمس. Islam is built on 5. The foundations of Islam. If these foundation of Islam is not strong, the rest of the structure is weak. It can collapse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in one of the verses of the Quran, when He punished people, they were living in castles. He said, فَأَتَى بُنْيَانَهُمْ مِنَ الْقَوَاعِدِ. Allah shook the foundation, so the building collapsed. So the foundation is weak, there's no building. So Islam, the foundation of Islam, the structure of Islam, that what Islam is based on, 5. Simple, like your hand. We all know them. But it's not enough to know them. What's important is to live them. Number 1, شهادة أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمدا رسول الله. Why this is important? You bear witness there is no God or deity worth of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tawheed, Allah. When you do that, the practical part of it is you live what Allah tell you do and you stay away from what Allah tell you don't. It's as simple as that. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam explained hikmah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give us the Quran and the hikmah and the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So the shahadatu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. If you know Allah, do and don't. That's it. Sami'na wa ata'na. We heard and we obey. Second, now this is testimony between you and Allah. Second is prove to Allah that this is true. Wa iqamis salah. That's the proof, is to pray. Alhamdulillah, pray Taraweeh, which is not really a mandatory. If I don't pray Taraweeh tonight, nobody will, I don't get punished. But what I get punished about is the regular salah, 5 salah. Some Muslims come and pray Taraweeh in Ramadan, but they never pray salah. They never come except on Friday. So this is very important, and we highlighted that many times. ما سلككم في سقر? What brought you to the hellfire? قالوا لم نكن من المصلين. So the first thing that you'll be asked in the day of judgment is your salah. Because this is وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ. The command is to worship Allah, to make salah. Third, إيتاء الزكاة is to pay zakat. There's two distinction between zakah and sadaqah. Zakah is a mandatory. It's one of the pillars of Islam, it's the third pillar. And if you don't do it, and you have the ability to do it, the foundation will break and you have no foundation to stand on. So some of the brothers ask me, how do I pay zakat al-mal? They get scared of the word. I know we don't have an Islamic government to say, hey, you see, for example, try not to pay your taxes, which is 30%, 35%, 40%. And if you make a lot of money, it can go up to 50%. Try not to pay that. What happened? What do you think will happen? He'll go to jail. And being, a Muslim, he probably will deport you too. Some of our brothers on September 11, they got deported because they didn't pay their zakat. They stripped their citizenship and they send them away to their country where they come from. I know a good friend of mine, they sent him back to Egypt. They stripped his citizenship because he didn't pay the taxes one time. And this is dunya. So don't you think Allah is more important to pay his zakah? And his zakah is not 35%, it's not 50%. It's 2.5%. So $100,000, if you have $100,000, you pay $2,500. Who do you pay to? Who do you pay to? It's haqq. في أموالهم حق. True. معلوم. لمن؟ للسائل والمحروم. The one who asks and the one who doesn't have. So Allah wanted to take from the rich and balance the poor. Allah made that person poor and He tested him with his poor. And Allah made this person rich and He tested him with rich. So I know this takes a long time. But every Ramadan, promise yourself, this is one sheet. Most people, can fit in this sheet. If you're a businessman, have a lot of businesses, maybe you need 2-3 sheets. But this is it. Most of us know computers, you can put it in a spreadsheet and you say 2013, 14, 15, 16. People are scared to look at this. It's like people are scared to look at the IRS forms. You can do your own IRS if it's simple. If you have one job or 2 jobs, you and your wife, you don't have to go to an accountant to pay $100, $150. Since I came to this country over 40 years ago, I pay my own taxes. I just look at the forms and you go and you do it. Simple. Zakah is simpler. What's in this? What's in this sheet? 2 things. What's your assets and what's your liabilities? So they ask you, first one, every Ramadan you come, they tell you, what's my asset? What's in my checking account? I have $5,000. What's in my saving account? I have another 5, that's 10. They have an IRA, they have a 401k plan, they have a retirement plan in the government, yes. And I have $100,000 in it, okay, so you put it there. And you keep listing what you have. Do you have to list your own house? The one you live in? No, it's excluded. You don't have to pay zakat on your own house. Even if it's $100 million, you don't have to pay zakat because that's the one you live in. Do you have to pay on the car you drive? No, you don't have to pay anything on the car you drive. But if you have a second and third car, not your wife. You don't pay on yours, you don't pay on your wife, you don't pay on your daughter or son, but you pay on the extra one. The SUV that sits in the garage doing nothing. That's the one you pay tax on. So once you add all of these assets, the value of them, then total assets, so I have $100,000. Then what is liability? People say, mortgage. I say, well, I didn't count the house. Why would you count the mortgage? So the house and the mortgage is out of this equation. So what do you have? I have some credit cards because I bought a television or I bought this and that. So put it in the liability. I owe Mohamed Hassan $5,000 because I bought it from him. Put it in the liability. So put all your liabilities and you subtract them. So let's say my liability is $95,000 or $98,000. So the net is $2,000. Now in Nisab is about $5,000. So if I have less than $5,000, I owe no taxes. So I can make $1 million and spend $1 million. You don't have to pay a dime. But if you subtract and it's more than $5,000, then you owe 2.5% on that net, on the value of the net. Assets minus liability. So I have, let's say, $10,000. That's $250. Is that too much for Allah? Is that too much for your brother? And a brother said to me, what if it's $1 million? Yes, if it's $1 million, you're paying $25,000. It's not $25,000 in a million. It's not a lot, but you see, Muslims, are cheap. They don't look at what Allah give you. If I give you $1 million, what's 25,000? It's not 100. If you earn 100,000, $1 million in America, you pay $50,000, $500,000 taxes. So, simple, brother. I have the form. Pick it up. Calculate it for Allah. You want Allah to bless you? That's your foundation. And I'm not talking about sadaqah. Quran, the whole Quran talk about sadaqah. He doesn't talk much about zakah. You know why? Anybody can tell me why he doesn't talk a lot about zakah? But sadaqah he talk about a lot about it. Why is that? Should talk about the zakah more than sadaqah. Because sadaqah is a volunteer. So Allah urges you to be a good, generous person. But zakah, he doesn't have to, because it's a man that do it. And if you don't, you're going to go in the hellfire. Guaranteed. قالوا لم نكن من المصلين. Number one, you don't pray. Second, ولم نكن نطعم المسكين. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq fought the Muslims who refused to pay the zakah. He said, I will kill them because they're not Muslims. And Umar said, they pray. They say La ilaha illallah. I said, they're not Muslims because they don't pay the zakah. Yes, once you deny one of these fives, you're not a Muslim. I don't care what you do, oh, I pray, okay, I say La ilaha illallah, I fast. But man, Hajj, it costs too much money, I'm not going to go. Do you know that the poor or average people go to Hajj, and the rich people, they refuse to go to Hajj? I know one of my family, lived in Kuwait for a long time. He always made Umrah. Why Umrah? Because he can do it any time. So he was a teacher, so he does it in the summertime. And they do it like for the school for $500. But Hajj, he lived 25 years in Kuwait, and he had the money. He never made one Hajj. Oh, Hajj costs too much money, brother. I need my money. Wallahi, brother, $10,000 it costs to go to Hajj from Kuwait to... I can't, brother, wallahi, I can't. So he did not go to Hajj. Till today, he did not go to Hajj. But you know, my brothers, the money that he saved in Kuwait, working 25 years, saved a lot of money. And then Saddam invaded Kuwait. What do you think he got? Zip. 25 years, he came back to Egypt with nothing. Do you know if he went to Hajj, maybe Allah will protect his money. But zip, nothing. So, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Whoever fear Allah and obey Allah, give him an exit. وَيَرْزُقْهُ. يا أخي بدور على الرزق. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for money. وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ. But these stingy brothers, these stingy people, they think, they have it. يَوْمَ يُحْمَى عَلَيْهَا فِي نَارِ جَهَنَّمْ. Allah did not leave it. He said that day Allah will burn this money that you save. في نار جهنم فتكوى بها جباههم. They will be branded in their foreface. Why? Listen to the Quran. تكوى بها جباههم وجنوبهم وظهورهم. Look at the tartib, the arrangement. Why جباههم? Because he stands like this in front of you and he is listening. And then what's the next thing? He said, okay, time to pay, brother. Here's the paper. What's the next thing he does? Start turning. So Allah brand him right on the side. And then he give his back and he run out of the door. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brand him right in the back. So Allah will burn in your foreface because you saw it and you saw the people telling you he's a zakah. And second, you turn, he'll burn your side. And you run away, he'll burn your back. And then he'll throw you in the hellfire. Ya akhi, save yourself and save your family. Don't be stingy with Allah. He give you life. أَلَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُ عَيْنَيْنِ. And Allah give you eyes. He can make you blind in the morning. He can give you fine and saving, and in the morning you find you have a cancer. Oh my God, I have a cancer. What do? I want to spend all my money so I can get cured. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure him, brother Abdul Mateen, the owner of Halalko. He had leukemia and he's in the hospital fighting life and death. What do you think money can do for him? Nothing. The doctors say he has a few days to live, fighting cancer. So, أَلَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُ عَيْنَيْنِ وَلِسَانًا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلا اقتحم العقبة. يا أيها الناس, people, be with Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will give you blessing in your life. But, you know, somebody, brother, pay sadaqat al-fitr. I'm going to send it to Egypt. I'm going to send it to Palestine. I'm going to send it to Afghanistan. No, akhi. Sadaqat al-fitr has to stay in the village that you're living. Not to Pakistan, not to Egypt, not to Palestine. There's rich people in Palestine, there's rich people in Egypt, there's rich people in Pakistan, let them pay for it. And if you're so loving to Palestine or so loving to Egypt, pay the sadaqah here and take from your money and give your family over there. But you're so stingy. Somebody say, can I make the zakat and the sadaqah and the fitr and Eid all one? Ajib, akhi. No, you can't. No, you can't. You know, akhi, wallahi, I want to pay the sadaqah, but also I have zakah, you know. ألا إن سلعة الله غالية ألا إن سلعة الله هي الجنة. I have some sisters also, I want to remind them. Gold, sisters. You don't want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala burn your face with it in the day of judgment. So how do you pay gold? An average sister, let's say the average sister should have a gold of average $5,000. There's no zakah on that. Anything beyond that, you have to pay zakah on it. Now, let's say a sister is a little bit rich. Maybe her gold is $50,000. She doesn't have to pay $50,000 on the account. And then, beyond that, she pays. If she's the Queen of England, maybe she doesn't have to pay $1 million first. It's in your category. So don't be making $50,000, you have the gold worth $200,000 and say, well, I'm rich, I don't have to pay. No, sister, you have to pay. So please, remember, and this paper also lists gold and silver beyond the average. So brothers, this is urgent, it's important, because it's part of your deen. And if you neglect it, I don't care if you fast or you pray, you're not a Muslim. This is very important. It's one of the pillars of Islam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us understand our deen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us practice our deen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us live our deen. Allahumma ameen. Inshallah, we'll take 15 minutes and we'll come back to the salat. Barakallahu feekum. And if anybody wants a copy of that, I can print more. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Assalamu alaikum.